need to be more of Aunt Mary, not Annie. Before I get started this video, this has nothing to do with colorism. Okay, I'm not saying be like Mary because she is light skinned, high passing, whatever, and ignore Annie. No, I'm talking about their personalities, and also too, it kind of something has something to do with the Black community, but we kind of get into that deeper later. Anyways, let's get started. So in the movie Sinners, one thing I noticed was that with Annie's character, with what's his name, Stack. If I get these two names, Smoke and Stack, wrong, just please know that I'm sorry. Michael B. Jordan's character, it got me confused. But anyways, I hope you know what I'm talking about when I say Annie's love interest and Mary's love interest. Anyways, so first off, we in the movie, it showed that he left her for 7 years, and they're married. By the way, he left her, didn't tell her when he was going to leave. He left her with her baby that was slowly, about to pass away, and unfortunately did, which really heartbroken. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I think that's like right after she had that baby, like the baby was like very young, like an infant, so she probably had postpartum. Okay, that's a red flag itself. First of all, if your man leaves you for 7 years, okay, I wouldn't even bother laying back and letting him tap it. Okay, in fact, I would just get, that's a whole, that is just a red flag. Number two, leaving a woman, especially at that time, Jim Crow era, with her in that baby, that's insane. Okay, because is it quote unquote men supposed to be the protectors? Okay, I'm pretty sure a protector wouldn't just abandon his wife and child, and then the wife most likely had postpartum depression. Okay, because that's really hard to deal with, and she had used her religion as a coping mechanism, and which is why he brought that up. He's like, oh well, how come your thing could not work for the baby, which is very insensitive, by the way, because it's like, you know what I'm saying here, like, oh, why couldn't you let this work? First of all, why wasn't you here? And I remember how many people was like, oh well, how come they didn't know Annie and him was a couple and whatnot? Because honestly, it didn't sound like a couple. It sound like Black love struggle, and I think it's kind of showing how Black love struggle was at that time, especially in my or religion, when they talk about their love, their how they met and stuff, and all the struggles in their marriage and whatnot. It kind of sounds similar to Annie's and his, and which is a horrific way to live a love life, just saying. And with that being said, I wasn't I was kind of confused, because I'm like, if you know what I'm saying? That was a whole red flag. It reminds me of a Black love struggle, which we continuously see in movies and films like Tyler Perry films, and other films like Love and Basketball, where their love is toxic. That is not good love. And the crazy part is, when he meets Annie, he don't even say about how much he left her, how he's sorry, whatnot. He's like, can you fry some catfish? I will. Okay, like, that is beyond crazy. Insane. You left me. Our child was slowly about to be gone away. Okay, and then you're making fun of me using my stuff to help the baby. And then you left me when I most likely had postpartum depression and during the Jim Crow era. And you're going to come in here and ask for catfish? Oh no. And I saw people was like, oh well, that's love right there. That is not love. If you think that's love, you're delusional. That is not love. Okay? And then also too, she used violence. Like, I remember she pulled out a knife. Now, honestly, I'm not gonna say she had every reason to get angry, but I think that I don't think she was angry the way I think she was angry, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is she instead of like telling him, you know, like you know how couples, how they kind of use violence to assert dominance. Yeah, that's how I felt when I saw that scene. And I took it as something else, and I had to realize, oh, wait, no, it's not like that. The reason I said that is because, especially in the black community at that time and in movies and TV shows, I don't know if it's still like that now. I'm pretty sure it is, you know, considering like reality TV shows and whatnot, you know, and all those other things. Anyways, um, it's that they kind of use it in a way to like, intimate, like to assert dominance, you know, like the weak way, and then love afterwards, which is like a really weird way to show that I basically miss you, you hurt me, and I love you. Whereas and then also too, besides all of that, she had to ask him, it basically beg him, I will say that, to say, for him to say, I love you, I miss you, and I'm sorry. And you expect me to know that they were married and that they were together? Honey, that's like a situationship. Except in the Jim Crow era. By the way, yeah, that relationship was not, yeah. It's sounding struggle love in its best form, describing at that time. Also too, when they make love, I'm pretty sure when people make love, they talk about like, from like learning about when people say how they love you and whatnot, you usually want to look at you in your face when you do the stuff. But in this film, what I noticed is that he basically pushed her off, like I want your face turned that way, and you know, like, okay, I'm not going to really describe the scene because it's kind of a little awkward, but anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure when you make love, if you love someone, you want to look them face to face. That's what I'm trying to say. You want to look them face to face, not you know, turn around, put a bag on your face while you're at it, you know. And that still didn't really clarify to me that he quote unquote love her, because I'm like, yeah, that sound like something you would do if it was more like a hit it and quit it type deal, you know. So yeah. Meanwhile, for what's that call it, Mary, she addressed them then and there, you know. And the reason when I say for this circumstance is that because she's like, hey, you hurt me, how come you said this and that, and then you left me for 7 years? And she called him out, you know what I'm saying? She didn't try to walk around, did try to like intimidate him, try to scare him so then she could feel like she had somewhat of a dominance. She called him out right then and there. And with that being said, when I say being more of a Mary and not Annie, is because Mary didn't hesitate to call him out on it, and she didn't, and she didn't give in to him, you know. And yeah, she stood on business with that, and she wasn't trying to be like, yeah, with that. Because I know some people, they think they're more like a Mary, but in reality, they're like that girl who, that Mary girl who slept with that guitarist guy. I forgot that her character name, but I'm gonna show a picture of her. Cause with her, cause I know it's a lot of women. They at least where I grew up with, they try to be like, oh, I'm not that type of girl. Oh, you better watch it. Oh, like they think they're calling them out. They think they're selling business, but in reality, they're not. They're trying to like be kind of sly with it. That makes sense. Like they're like trying to like play cute with it. And I know that sounds a little weird, and I know you can't really play cute, but I'm trying to say like we could see through it. Whereas when Mary, she had called him out. She was like, "You did this. You know what was gonna like, you know." And also too, with that being said, I remember how a lot of people was upset at Mary because they thought that she had betrayed black people when she went out there, and how she thought she was all that. The thing is, Mary had asked to go out there because I remember some people was like, oh, he's seen his girl out there. No, she asked to go out there. She said she basically know how to use a weapon, you know, and they didn't know that they were vampires. And so with that being said, she knew how to use a weapon. She said she apparently Stack had taught her how to fight. Again, if I keep messing with the names of Smoke and Stack, please just ignore. Just know I'm talking about Mary's love interest. And with that being said, when she went out there, of course she's gonna go out there and see. Because I remember this one black lady on TikTok. She's like, "Oh, she doesn't know how it is to be black. You know, she has that white girl privilege. She used her privilege on that." She's basically complaining and basically saying how she got all black people in danger. But reality, Mary did not. Mary is white passing, yes. And at that time, she would be considered black because if you're not monoracially black, then because Mary is multiracial, because if your grandparents and your parents are not as one race, then you are multiracial. And with that being said, at that time, Jim Crow's era, she definitely, because of the one drop rule, be considered black. So, but because she used her ambiguity of she didn't really like, she didn't feel the need to fit in black spaces or fit in white spaces. She kind of did what she wanted because she know who she was, and because she was passing, it was easy for her. Unless she knew about her, like people who did, and they're like cornbread in them, you know. And she used that to her advantage to see what they want, and she tried to get money to save them, to save Stack and Smoke, because they was about to get in trouble. Because if you guys didn't watch the film, they was about to get in trouble because I think they stole some money up north from Chicago. And because of that, she was about to grab money. But did she notice that Remick and the two members, I can't say it, but the members were out there, and how they basically talk about black people? She stood up for them, and she as far as to leave them. And then people's like, oh, she had that gun, why she didn't use it and whatnot. She didn't know they were vampires. Okay? And then on top of that, when she came inside, okay, she did not attack everyone in that room. She only came for one person, and which was Stack. Again, if I keep messing up, I'm so sorry. And many people's like, oh, that was selfish of her. Let me tell you this. If you was living at that time, and you know the only time if you was in an interracial relation, goodness gracious, a different relationship than what was the norm at that time. And you know the only way you get out of it is by, you know, becoming a vampire. Will you take that chance? Because let's be honest here, if she was to go out there and be in a relationship with him out in public, they both would not be alive. Okay? And plus, so she could have been everyone within that place, but she only went for one person. And because she know that he had a weakness for her, she start, you know, laying him down and start riding the horse, right? The saying. but the thing is, the reason I brought up because I'm about to go back to Mary and Stack. The reason I brought up Annie and Smoke having intercourse and whatever, not only because to show the dynamic of the relationship, but with whereas for theirs, Mary and Stack, they was face to face, and she has somewhat of a dominance over him when she was, basically controlling the the bedroom by at it, if that makes sense, because I don't want to get all detailed. I don't want to get to take it down, but you know what I'm saying. And rather than hit and quit it type deal. So with that being said, she didn't do it because it's like, oh, I miss you. She's like, no, I want you, and the only way I can bite you is by doing what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is another reason you should be Mary and not Annie is that what's I'm going to say? Don't give it up just to give it up. And I'm not just talking about intercourse. I'm talking about with you, yourself, your opportunities, everything. Do not be with I'm going to talk about just man with this instance, because relationships. Don't just be with a guy just to be with the guy. Have it benefit you. Sorry, not it. Sorry, have him benefit you. I sound like a man hater when I just said that. I'm so sorry. But seriously though, because if you give it up easily when not you, where are you gonna go in life? Just falling for these traps. You know what I'm saying? You just letting it go easy weasy. You know what I'm saying? Have a goal in mind. Like for what's her name? For Mary, in that case, she wanted to be with him forever. I'm not saying trap him or anything. I'm just saying, like, don't just let it come to you. You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense? Dominate your circumstance. Yeah, okay, I think I'm sounding better. Sorry, trying to translate everything in my head. And with that being said, with all of that, what do you think of the film? Did you love the film? Did you like how they had High Stanfield, who is multiracial, by the way, and she is 1/4 black, played her, I think she did an amazing job. I realized some people trying to have a black woman passing, which, well, no, she's not black passing. Anyways, they're trying to have another woman player, but I think she played the role better. What do you think about Mary and Annie's relationship with Smoke and Stack? Tell me the dynamic. Do you think I'm right? Do you think it compared to the black community then or today? Let me know. Comment down below. Like and subscribe and follow some more. Bye, Exotical Barbies.